Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Hey, everyone.
Back again.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's been
GS Helpdesk. You could liken that back to the old
GSHD?
GS.
Where's the spot? The GS Help
The
Desk.
GS Helpdesk is the spot. There you go, Jared.
Got it.
All right, this is the Geekshow Helpdesk where we talk about tech and, perhaps adjacent science things that have to do with tech and all the things that come along with tech, such as, politics sometimes and things like that.
And gadgets.
And gadgets, yeah, because it's all influenced by tech. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our panelists. Right here, we got Mr. Owen.
Wrong way. Did you switch your... Hey, that's me. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what is it? Technoan? At Technoan?
At Technoan on Twitter. I'm still
There you
there
go.
while it's lasting.
For as long as it's there.
Yeah.
And that's the plan.
600 tweets a day.
Underneath Owen, we got Lando.
Hey, that's me.
That's right. At Landon Conover on the Twitters.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, it's good. It's good that you're here. We like having all of yous. And right here next to Lando, we got Jaren.
Hey, I'm Jaron on Twitter. I'm Geronimo at Threads. And I won't even mention Mastodon. 'Cause you guys seem to shrivel up whenever I say Mastodon.
Yeah, we don't like Mastodon.
Mastodon's just
Did
a
you
slow failure. That's all
But
it
did
is.
you got Jaren over there on Mastodon, but it's a number, right? Jaren at...
Well, no.
No, it's not a number. It's Jaron at Mastodon.online. There's different servers you can
here's
join.
the problem with
There we go.
Mastodon.
I'm
It's
turning it off.
distributed, right?
There we go. I did it. Dang it.
And you can have one username in one server and another username in another server, and the IDs, the identities, if you will, do not flow from one server to the other. That's the biggest issue with Mastodon.
That's not
Well,
connected.
we'll
That's not
talk more-
connected internet.
We'll talk more about Threads later, but it also uses the Fediverse, so it can connect to different Mastodon servers.
It's not as cool as Blue Sky.
Perhaps in the
If
future.
only I could get
I
it
don't
in
know.
Much cooler.
Jeez.
We'll talk
me
more about
too.
it later.
Yep. And there's me. Hey, guys.
Oh, we
And
do
we have a
Jaron?
host. His name is Tony.
Everybody
Woo.
got someone.
Hey, check me out on Twitter at
Look, I
QuadTTony
can point the fingers the right way. I'm good.
or on other Geek
got it.
Show podcasts. All right. Let's see. Big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Patreon.com/GadgetSpot. Throwback there. Until further notice, still figuring that out. But if you feel like donating on there, then we will gladly accept your money for as long as it's around. I turned off yearly subscriptions, by the way, so you can't throw a whole year up there and then get mad at us if this Patreon goes away in like a month or two. So
That's a good idea.
I'm trying to
You get
plan
some-
ahead.
And you get some perks, right? If you
Yep.
donate some shekels there.
That's right. You get early or
Early
on time.
and
or on time release of both podcasts, the Geek Show Helpdesk and the Geek Show Arcade.
ad free.
And
No
they're
ads.
ad free. And if you donate 6 shekels a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaren has for us right now.
In my sultry voice, thank you to David Broshinsky, Aaron Young, Stuart Lloyd, and Wiffle Ball Tony. I know, it's more like a nasally, high-pitched voice, which is the
Nice. Still
worst.
That's good.
All right.
No, I don't
Thanks
like
to
it.
Mark. Well, it's still better than Lando's. Thanks to Mark Cope. Crate and Barrel is in the mall. Mall equals food court equals just an overpriced IKEA. What's wrong with IKEA's food court?
I love
That
I love the
sounds
food
like
court.
solid logic to me.
That sounds like a win for Crate and Barrel, actually.
I don't know.
Overpriced.
But you have to go in
Balls.
the. You do have to go in the mall, and there's just so many teenagers in there.
I love the mall.
Teenagers just scare me
Owen,
nowadays, by
don't
the way.
worry. You're basically invisible to teenagers, okay?
I know, but they're not to me, and it just makes me just kink
really
up
makes-
inside. It just
It makes me
grinds
like feel my
gears.
mortality and getting older, right?
Just cracks, just sands my clogs, as my Dutch counterparts would say.
Sans my
It
claw.
really
All right.
stomps my tulips. Sorry.
Still going through Patreon. Andy Bird, be the 8-year-old King Knight to King Bishop 3! Exclamation point. No
that's
name, no
changed.
color. Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Motzkus, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Insta and TikTok. What do you want us to hawk? We'll do it. Josh Dorius, Dick Masterly, Splinter, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Joe. A right does not, as a practical matter, exist without any remedy for its enforcement. Ryan M. and Adam Hecht. Thank you, everyone.
I
All right,
apologize to any teenager listeners that I might have offended with that.
Oh, come on. We're not that hip for teenagers to be listening to us.
Also, they probably can't hear you as well as you're invisible to them. So it just comes as a high-pitched buzz when you talk.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You rock.
You know
All
what?
right.
I wanted to mention one more thing about Patreon.
Okay.
You get another perk. You get to come to our exclusive Patreon only channel in Discord.
Oh, that's right.
And so if you want to come there and insult Jaren directly, Orlando, please not me, or Tony or James.
I try and post
you know?
exclusive pictures there.
You can. We put some funny things in there. Yeah. So there you go. I think any tier gets that, even if it's just $1 or whatever.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's also kind of up in the air while the transition happens from Gadget Spot to Geek Show Arcade, Geek Show Helpdesk.
Stop
But
making promises.
I haven't promised anything yet. I'm just saying.
Talking to Owen.
Oh. Yeah, Owen. All right. Let's see. Do we have any emails?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right. And if you want to email us, feel free to do so at geekshowhelpdesk@gmail.com.
We got an email from Alex. He says, "Hello, squad. As you might guess from the title, this is likely up Tony's alley. I was wondering, and it is yet another earbud conversation. I was wondering if you have had a chance to try the Amazon Echo Buds 2021.
Oh, 2021.
I know you like the 2023 ones in your recent review. However, I enjoy the Buds more than the stick style personally. They have a decent Amazon review, but we all know the integrity of Amazon reviews. True, they are crap. Thanks for any insight. I love the podcast and been listening for years. Let's see how many triggers we can do with the outro.
Wait.
Zelda is an overrated franchise. Apple ecosystem is overpriced, unneeded feature. I can't comment on Cracker Barrels. I've never experienced them. That's how insignificant they are. Max worked great.
Crate and Barrel.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Cracker Barrel. Like, where did that one go?
restaurant.
Great
I like
autocorrect.
Cracker Barrel's awesome. All right.
Max worked great on Active Directory Network.
What? Get
Sarcasm.
out of here with
No,
that.
he says sarcasm.
Oh, okay,
afterwards.
good.
Thanks all. I give the show a solid 8 out of 10, just like Owen.
Boom. You know, that's a
can ask
solid
for it.
80%. I'll take that all day long.
Oh,
B
yeah.
minus right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? All right. Yeah. So as far as those go, I have not tried them, so I couldn't give you a user experience rating on those. But yeah, your reason for liking them more than the other ones is due to the fact that they go actually in your ear instead of, you know, just sitting outside of your ear canal. And if that's why you like them, then you're definitely not going to get that out of the new ones. So I would say just keep going with what you like, and I'll bet you I would put money on Amazon redoing those probably next year. I'll bet they do a cadence. I'll bet they start doing a cadence just like Apple does. 1 year the non-sealed ones, the next year the fully sealed ones. So that's my
Speculation.
speculation.
Here for
So,
you, Tony.
There you go. Thanks
Okay.
for writing in.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. We got an email from Lang, our good friend Lang.
Hello.
He says, "Believe it or not, I do have something genuine for the help desk.
Whoa.
Being a blended father of 4, it's very difficult figuring out how to set up gaming accounts for my kids. I think I have the Nintendo account set up under our family, but is there a way to set up something like a family account on Steam where multiple accounts can play from my library at the same time? For example, I am one of those weirdos that plays Halo Infinite on Steam, but my son can't play Halo Reach while I'm on the same account. Is there a way to give him another account linked to my library? Yes and no is the answer.
What a bummer.
There is Steam family sharing
Yep.
where you can share your library, but you cannot play at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
So
stinks.
close.
So you can have different accounts, sharing the same library, just not playing at the same time. I would suggest you
What's the point of that?
stop being a weirdo and play Halo Infinite on Game Pass.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Because
That's
Xbox is pretty good with family sharing. I've played
And
games
all,
at the same time.
all manner
Oh, yeah.
of control. I have it all set up for my
I think
kids.
James and I shared an Xbox account for a while, or like linked ours together so we could share our games.
The
I think we did
family
that for a
control.
while.
The family controls
Well-
on Xbox are awesome too. Like I use them a lot with my little
Well,
kids.
I mean, not the Xbox, but through the Microsoft Store.
Yeah,
And since it's a Microsoft game, I'm 99% sure your game data will transfer to the Microsoft version because it signs in through your Xbox account anyway.
However, it sounds like he's playing two different games because
Yeah.
if he's
Halo
playing
Reach and
Infinite,
Halo and Infinite.
Halo Reach is on the Master Chief Collection, so
Right.
he'd have no problem in that scenario that
Yeah.
that he's speaking of specifically. But
No,
Jared
you
brings
cannot
up a-
play any game in your library if someone else is playing a game in your library.
Oh, I thought it was
any
the
game?
same game
No,
at the same
not-
time.
not the
okay,
same
so
game.
basically
Any
it
game.
checks out the whole library
Yes.
at once. Okay,
It
yeah.
does.
So you're gonna have to use the Xbox app to play Infinite while your son plays Reach, or other way around. Anyway, yeah.
Reach is
Not a
paid.
good- not a good
Reach
answer.
isn't free, so you'd play Reach with your Steam since purchase
Yeah.
there, and Infinite's free, so play that on your Microsoft account.
There you go.
I hate that answer.
Except for the campaign, right? Campaign's not free.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, campaign's not free.
Campaign's
But
not free.
Campaign's on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, then you can just play it on there. But if you don't have Game Pass, then I think Infinite goes for anywhere from $20 to $30 on sale. Usually, it's not very expensive anymore. And I'd be surprised if they don't drop the price on that even further.
The Game
Because,
Pass?
No, of just Halo
Ha-
Infinite.
Halo Infinite, like the
got
full
it. I
campaign.
was gonna say,
They
'cause
should
I'm
be-
pretty sure they're raising the Game Pass price.
Yeah, they will be in the next little while. But Microsoft should be 100% going for quantity of sales over, raising or keeping a high price on Infinite at this point. So, all right. Well, thanks for writing in. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. There you go. All right, there you go.
Done. We did it.
We done did it. All right, let's see. We have some things to talk about. Actually, we have a pretty full schedule here, so we're not going to get to all of it for Help Desk, but let's pick out a few good things. Let's start off with social media style talking points like we were hitting on a little bit earlier before we started the show. So Elon Musk is definitely trying to kill Twitter. It really feels that way.
Right?
Because
Either
It's one of two
that-
things. It's intentional or he's just plain dumb.
I mean,
Right?
there is
Yeah,
the old
has to be
saying.
that.
There is the old saying: "Never ascribe malice to what can be explained by incompetence." And maybe that's
What I'm saying.
But sometimes,
That's it.
but sometimes gross incompetence is malicious. Like, like that.
Well,
there's a threshold
sabotage.
that it
Yeah.
crosses that you're like, I never knew what I was doing. I knew this was going to happen.
Think about the companies he has set up to date.
That's the thing.
PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, other stuff. None of that.
knows.
None of that really requires an intimate knowledge of how humans work.
That's
That's
true.
That's a good
And
point.
Elon Musk is objectively a weird person who doesn't.
Objective.
I don't know, interact well normally with other humans.
Not
and
even
so-
subjectively, but
Yeah.
Can we say
objectively.
Jaren's
Yes.
objectively weird? Is that cool? Can we do that? I
Sure.
agree.
Sure, for the sake of our argument.
I couldn't
So-
resist. I'm so sorry, James.
I don't care. Anyway, the running of a social network requires some knowledge, of
How people
what
think.
of how what people think, what repels humans.
Of emotional awareness.
Right.
Yeah,
Emotional awareness.
and he has zero of that.
Yeah.
When
So-
I
you have
would
money,
be
you
willing
don't
to
have
bet
to.
when he bought the company, there was a team that would help him with that, right? But he quickly fired them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Transition
I don't know.
team.
I don't
need
know.
you.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
got a tinfoil hat
UX
on
UI
this
design,
one. You know,
whatever. Don't need that.
I've got a tinfoil hat on this one. Jack Dorsey said that Elon Musk was great for Twitter. That he was the
Because
only.
he was getting a payout like this.
Also, his new
he
thing,
took that
right?
back later. He
But
took
also
that
his
back.
new thing, right? We'll talk about that.
Oh, that's
in a second.
another
Blue
thing.
Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His blue
Yeah.
sky. He knows if Twitter fails.
Like
Blue
he's already.
Sky
He's like,
is in a good
hey,
spot.
he's like,
I
man,
think-
I need to torpedo this so the users have no choice. Who would do that for me? And at this point, I don't think that Elon's doing it like unintentionally anymore. I think he's intentionally like, nah, me and Jack talk.
The thing is,
I
that
need
why
to
would he
torpedo
do it
this.
intentionally?
That's
why?
not worth
He's
the
got
amount of
so
money
much
he's
money
lost.
to lose.
Yeah.
I think that's why I think the opening volley. That's why he pushed so hard not to want to pay that because like for the deal I'm doing, I don't want to pay that much. It was a joke to get people's attention.
I don't
And
think
then-
your
and then
tinfoil
they-
hat holds up on this one.
I don't either, but
At least it might.
It's
up until the
suspect.
it might hold up until the point where you think Elon has something to gain by torpedoing Twitter. He's already
There's
lost
no way.
$25 billion in valuation
Yeah.
of that company. So
Like the one good thing to come from this is I'm sure business schools will be analyzing the crashing and burning of Twitter for decades to come.
Yeah,
There's a silver
here's-
lining, I suppose.
Here's what not to do.
yeah, exactly.
Bring in a kitchen sink on your first day.
Well, it
Let's
just goes to
start
show
there.
that there's no tech company that's too big to fail. That Facebook could go down tomorrow or start crashing any day now. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? MySpace did.
You think there's a cautionary tale? Like I think this is a complete fluke. I think that he made a
Reddit's
joke.
crashing.
I think he made a joke because they they pissed him off or something about his account, and he's like, "I'll just buy you," and they were like, "Okay," and then they forced him
He
to.
called his bluff.
Yeah, and they forced him to for a ridiculous amount, right?
I disagree, Lando. True, Facebook could crash and burn, but
Reddit
it's not
is,
just
right. Like we didn't
Right.
think that day would
Yeah,
come.
but-
Here it is.
it's not one decision Elon has made. It's like a ton of decisions that he has made
Yeah.
that has led to this.
But in the Reddit case, it's been one decision. Right?
Yeah,
So, I
they-
mean,
they'll
one deci-
survive, though. I
Facebook
think-
could
I
be-
think
They
that's-
are.
I think that's different.
The data
Re-
shows Reddit's basically back. Like,
Yeah, the biggest thing that happened to Reddit was they lost a lot of their free workers,
yeah,
their mods, and
Yep.
they'll just get new mods.
started
'cause
at
it's
8,000. Started at 8,000
free.
subs, blacking out. It's down to 2,000 left. And
is
now
still a
they've
good
changed.
amount.
And now they've
They
changed.
even
and now
quit-
they've changed their policy and said now they're saying that we'll forcibly remove you
Yeah,
and bring your sub is coming back up whether you want to or not.
and then they
Sneaky.
even
I don't like that.
the moderators even quit doing the NSFW protest. That's not happening anymore,
No.
at least on any of the subs that I subscribe to.
A lot
so-
of them like
Open
home.
Twitter at work.
A lot of
Owen,
them are like,
what are you doing with the rest of the time of your day now?
I don't know. I just dude, all my
TikTok.
stuff's gone. The sites are all boring again, so I'm floating away.
Yeah. Well,
But
so
like
go
they've
ahead.
locked out a couple of the bigger sites like Home Repairs, which is huge, like 20 million followers or something like
Oh
that.
wow.
They've locked it to read only. So basically no new posts. It's
Oh,
in
man.
restricted mode. And they can't do anything about that because the mods are the subs are controlled by the moderators.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole thing. That's what made it a great community. I mean, there were some weird places, but it really let people come out and express themselves, and people that were passionate about it stepped up as moderators. So, who knows?
That's a fair point.
For
You know,
free.
For free.
Still bonkers.
So specifically why I bring this up with Elon Musk and Twitter this time is because he has been busy over the last week and set up limits on how many posts you can make per day and how many reads you can have per day.
Yeah, how many tweets you can read a day
Yep.
on the
And,
mobile app, not the desktop, not the browser app, right?
I
think
didn't
it's only
see
the mobile
anything that doesn't. That,
It was everywhere.
I think it
Oh,
was
was it
everywhere.
everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
saw
it was
people-
even breaking TweetDeck until they
Uh-huh.
released a new version.
Oh, interesting. 'Cause I saw
Exactly.
people like doing Chrome browser extensions to get around it because it was the browser or something. I don't know.
No.
I thought it was.
So
Maybe I'm wrong.
he's
Maybe I'm wrong.
he's revised his statement a little bit since then, and his first statement was verified accounts are limited. This is verified accounts, so the ones that you pay for, limited to reading 6,000 posts a day.
Yeah.
Unverified accounts 600 posts per day. New unverified accounts 300 per day.
300.
600 is a laughably small amount.
Oh,
Although
yeah.
to be fair, I could not hit it. I tried.
I didn't hit it either, but I only, I don't do a whole ton on Twitter, so it's not surprising to me that I didn't hit it.
I had a friend who tweeted something to the effect of, if they're going to restrict me from viewing tweets, I'm just going to unfollow all the brands
Yeah,
that I
exactly.
follow,
and then,
which is
and then Twitter loses
Right.
the value that it has left,
Yeah.
right? The only thing it has left is that besides the bots, there's about 20 people that are still alive and reading the ads, right? So if you
Long as,
take that
hey,
away,
Even if the bots read the ads, you still get paid
you
for the
still
ad
get paid for
impression.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he did this to curb scraping of Twitter data, but that
Yeah.
is complete
Baloney. That's
baloney.
I think
No
this
way.
might be in
Yeah.
that same vein that Reddit was trying to avoid. They want a payout for their large language mod. Twitter is ripe with human language to train AI models, and that was
Well.
that was Reddit's main impetus for
yeah,
this. is that they-
this though I think was totally infrastructure. It was crashing and burning.
oh yeah,
and this
yeah.
was a
You think
way
the
to.
server. This
Oh
is,
yeah,
Server load for sure.
I heard he made some
Server
sort of
load.
change or forced the infrastructure team to make some sort of change that totally like crashed a bunch of servers. So he's like, "Oh, we'll just throw limits on," and
Yep.
I think that's
So
what happened.
he later in that day he said, now changing it to 8,000 for verified, 800 for unverified, and 400
slowly
for new.
scaling up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not
then later-
infrastructure related at all.
Yeah, and then later that day, now 10,000 for verified.
yeah.
You imagine
as the
that?
servers, as they fixed
Yeah.
the servers and rolled them back from
Exactly.
tape. They had to roll them
1,000
off a tape.
for unverified, 1,000 and 500 for new unverified accounts. So that was the last thing he said about it, and that was 6 days ago or 4 days ago, according to what I'm seeing here. But yeah, it's
Is
just,
that being enforced? Has there been people? I've heard that there's.
it
people
was at
that are-
first. It was
Yeah.
at first for sure. I saw posts about it, and then he got on there after this, and this was the craziest part and then he got on there and post jokes about, I'm wasting another one of your views.
Yeah. He
And-
said what did he say? The irony
Yeah.
of losing your limit by posting and complaining about your limit.
Guy's so
Yep.
dumb.
You know?
He's so dumb.
Yep. And then
Like
things
no
like
no shame. Like you just shamelessly punches back at the people that are freely
making him
giving
money.
They're making him money.
yeah, this one right here. The reason I set a view limit is because we are all Twitter addicts and need to go outside. I'm doing
Yeah,
a good deed for the world here.
Wow.
Also, that's another view you just used. It's like, come on.
What is
That's pretty salty though.
But it is. And I laughed at it. I'll
I
admit
did.
it.
I
laughed.
did. Like
And then this one, you awake from a deep trance. You step away from the phone to see your friends and family.
yeah.
It's like,
No
wow.
one's using Twitter that much anymore because it sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean,
Just-
there's ads every three or four
Yeah, it's the
tweets.
worst.
So
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's your Twitter update.
it seems like a opportune time for competitors to suddenly open up a brand new social network to
Almost like
compete
it's
with
on
Twitter.
purpose. I don't know.
Yeah. Insert Meta's Threads.
Yep.
Tinfoil hat, maybe. I'm
It-
just saying here.
Came out today, actually. I downloaded it. I gave it a whirl.
Oh, the app is actually out today.
The app is out.
Wow.
Yep. So you just sign in with your Instagram account and you transfer it's basically your Instagram profile that you can import. You can follow everyone you follow on Instagram, or you can select who you want to follow. And it looks very much like Twitter, very much like any Mastodon app out there. So you Twitter people will feel right at home.
That's the
My
idea.
main complaint, and probably why I will not use it, is because it's not a feed of just who you follow. It is a curated feed.
Oh, you
And
can't do it just who you follow.
Not
At
that I
least not
found. Not yet.
That's
like
great.
This is where
I've been
Blue
looking.
Sky's gonna kill it.
I've been looking for this option everywhere, but so far my feed, I only followed like 4 people. My feed is just full of stuff I do not want to see. So I'm not going to use it because of that.
Yeah.
If they roll that back, if they have like an option of just viewing tweets of who people you follow, yeah, I'd be totally on board, even though I hate Facebook.
So Thread,
Me too.
in my opinion, is a masterstroke trying to get people away from Twitter, because the first thing you need as a social media platform, aside from the platform, is people.
Yeah.
And since you're just bringing in your Instagram accounts, instant population.
Already there. No more
Yep.
work to
Right
sign
there.
up, right? No
Yep.
more having to make a new account and all that work.
It's all right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But they have to have a decent platform for it to work. And I'm with Jaron. If it doesn't have
Wonder if
people I only
oh, yeah.
follow thread
Not
or whatever,
interested.
then
If I don't have
I'm
control
done.
over my
Don't want it.
curation,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that Meta is planning on opening this up to the Fediverse, meaning other accounts, like other servers like Mastodon, would be able to connect. So you'd be able to, through a Mastodon app, follow people that are using Threads,
Interesting.
and vice versa. However, Mark Zuckerberg has said that this isn't live yet, and they hope to open that up later, which tells me that if Threads does really well, they're totally not going to open that up later.
Right.
yeah, they won't need to.
They're like,
Yeah,
"I don't need you."
they won't care. Like
Yep.
the same deal with when Steve Jobs said iMessage was going to be a cross-platform messaging system,
Right.
Yeah.
and they got really it blew up, and like, oh no, not anymore.
Never mind.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
It's just scooping some disgruntled people like landing away from Mastodon. They're like, different servers? That sounds stupid. It just scoops them over. Come on
Yep.
over. And then
Although to
Well,
be fair, I really like the idea of a
to be
decentralized
fair-
social. Thank you. A decentralized social network. I think that's really cool
Yeah.
if done right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the problem with Mastodon. You have all these different servers that you have to, figure out. And then the
remember.
other-
That's my problem. I have to
You don't-
remember them.
No, you don't. You
And
can
the
just
i-
follow anyone on a different server without having to remember anything.
Yeah, but
just
your
click
identity
follow
doesn't
and
go from
it's
server
there.
to server. You can't move.
But yeah,
It's all.
there's
It's
that.
not federated.
The problem. The other problem is.
imagine you'd be able to export
It's
your
not.
profile.
That's the big difference between Mastodon and Blue Sky.
Well, the other thing too is that's a huge problem, because if whoever's doing your server decides they don't want to do your server anymore, what
Right.
happens then?
Right.
Right,
You lose.
right.
You lose everything.
You have no account portability.
Yeah.
And there's been some Mastodon server admins who say we will not let threads join our users in our server will not be able to follow people on threads.
Well, didn't you guys have some weird, like, not safe for work issue with some of your Mastodon servers that you were on, Tony?
Oh yeah,
Oh, those were super old though.
Yeah, but
the
still,
first,
I mean,
the first one I signed up for
it's
and went
just
back
awful.
to last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went to trannyporn.net
Yeah, that's true.
at work.
nice.
Made it through the filters. Impressive.
They're
It
seeing
did.
the-
I
they're seeing
stopped
the-
that immediately though. And
Some of those are seeing the thread of the threads.
Yeah. So, and then so with Blue Sky, the problem is they're not letting anyone else on the app.
Yeah,
Come on,
they
Blue
need to-
Sky, let
They
me
gotta
on.
open that up ASAP.
They
And
might have some.
who's Blue Sky run by?
Jack Dorsey.
Jack
Oh,
Dorsey, the guy that started
okay.
Twitter.
So
So their whole thing. I've done research here, so I want to
Take
talk
that
about
hat
it. This
off.
has been on my list for weeks now, so we're going to talk about it now. Let's
talk about
it. So the cool thing about Blue Sky is they're developing a new protocol, right? So if you remember back to the early days of the interwebs, right? We had all these, SMTP, the email protocol, right? We
Yep.
had HTTP or an HTTPS,
Yep.
right? We had
Giants
RSS
out.
feeds via XML, which was still HTTP, but it was like a certain format for RSS feeds. So they're trying to do what they're calling the AT protocol for social media networking. That's the
Okay.
idea. But the big difference is it's very much like Mastodon. But like I mentioned before, is your account on this protocol can move with you. You can take
Okay.
your account from server to server. No big
Good.
deal. You're in charge of your data, and it can move with you anywhere, which is very, very cool. And then the way it communicates with all the other servers is there's a big centralized
Directory.
directory servers,
Yeah.
right? There's not just one. There's multiple ones, and anybody can bring them up as long as it's running the software right. So it scales out based on users
this
and users doing stuff.
like decentralized, the same idea as Mastodon.
So-
which
Yes.
is, which is
Yes.
like what if you know about how like cryptocurrency, that kind of
gonna
the same thing as
say.
running your own node, right? Like you
Sounded
become
like
a part of the,
crypto.
which is the idea behind decentralization or blockchain. Is
Yeah.
decentralization. So that's interesting. You bring up
Yeah.
a node as a miner. You used to be you had to bring up a node. Then they switched it so you didn't have to. But when you were a node, you were part of the network. Like you were a validator. You were somebody that was helping protect the network from fraud.
Yeah. So the other really interesting part about Blue Sky that I think is really, really cool is they are giving you what they're calling algorithmic choice. So one of Darren hit the nail on the head talking about meta threads, right? He's like, I can't control what I see and how I see it. Right? They're giving me this curated feed that I hate because it's got all kinds of crap in it I don't want. So Blue Sky is doing what they're calling algorithmic choice first. And you can choose what you see and how it's curated. And you can say, hey, look, one of theirs curated a really cool feed. I can borrow his algorithm. Or I can use this other one,
Oh.
right? So you can develop your own algorithms. Right now, it's implemented very much like Twitter lists. But they say that's going to grow and change over time to be more algorithmic
I hear
by nature.
James rapidly typing Ryan Reynolds right now. Just like
Must have two algorithms.
must have Ryan Reynolds
So
algorithm.
that's a really another really, really interesting thing that Blue Sky is trying to do is make that, first and foremost a part of their platform. It's hard to say part of their it's not centralized, right? It's decentralized, right? But it's part of the protocol.
That's a great idea. It monetizes one more facet of humanity, like opinion.
How's that? What do you mean? How's it monetized? Do you think people are going to charge for their
brand.
algorithm?
Like brand, right? So now you'll have influencers, and if you have a certain amount of people using your algorithm, they'll pay you for that, right? So,
I see
so
what
like
you're saying.
imagine like
Okay.
Taylor
I
Swift
can see that.
getting on there, and everybody's like, I want to see the same things. I want to be in the same culture as her,
true.
follow the same
Yep.
things as her. That's easily something that
Well,
Taylor
and
Swift
making
could
it
say,
easy to
I bring
switch
that value to you, and
Right, and you could switch. You could do the Taylor Swift algorithm 1 hour, and the next
Yeah.
time you go log on, it could be
let's
the
go
Owen
see what,
algorithm.
yeah, let's go see what Jay-Z's do. Don't put me in this class with Taylor Swift. I don't.
Oh yeah,
I don't,
T
I don't
Swift,
belong. I don't.
Jay Z,
Owen?
Owen, Esau.
Owen. I'm like, wow. No, it's more like they're standing on a cliff and looking down. If you want to do it like that, they're like, oh, that's Owen down there.
But anyway, I think I've
don't
done a
know
lot of
your
research
name.
into Blue Sky,
No, they don't. Who's that poor pleb?
and the IT person in me thinks Blue Sky is very, very, very cool, and I
Let
like
me
the way they're
give me
thinking through it.
Give me an invite, somebody. If you got
I
the blue
almost
skies,
paid $50.
come on.
So there's a guy I stumbled upon today on Reddit. he does what he calls invite trains, right? So you jump on the invite train. You're like, I can get an invite as long as you promise to share more invites forward, which is a cool idea, right? Until you learn that it's $50 to get in the group.
Whoa.
But which is cheap
eh?
comparatively. Other invites are going for There's lots and lots of scams, first of all, and other ones are going for upwards of $500-$600.
Wow.
So
Capitalism.
That's crazy. If they were fully out in this last week, it would have blown up.
Huge.
They missed a huge opportunity.
big time.
Maybe they weren't ready, server-wise.
Yeah,
That's the
sounds like
only
they weren't.
explanation I could think of.
They had enough
Yeah.
clout with Jack Dorsey and the history there and the idea of Mastodon, but like portability, like it's got the things that people are wanting right now, especially people bailing from Twitter in mass.
They should.
Well, and
the
that's the thing is
tagline-
your ID on the app protocol and the app network is your ID. So when you get Jaren.bluesky.xyz, that's it. That's yours forever. No matter what server you're on, that's always it. You and your data, you're in full control.
Their
cool.
tagline should be like Mastodon and Threads, but better.
Yeah.
And people would say, "What's Mastodon and what's Threads?"
What am I looking at here?
So anyway, I think it's very, very cool. I'm a huge
I
Blue
hope-
Sky shill.
I genuinely hope Threads takes off, and I hope it connects to Mastodon, because my ideal world would be use Mastodon, connect to people that are using Threads. That'd just be amazing.
I think that would be cool. I think Blue Sky and Jack Dorsey and his kind of clout are going to overtake it. I think
I think
who
there's a good
knows?
chance
We
of
thought
that.
the other Charger was going to win too, but here we are with the Tesla Charger winning out. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I mean,
If you have
It's hard to
an
say.
account and you're sending out invites, hit us up in Patreon.
totally.
Yeah,
I'd be so
come on.
happy.
We would not pay
Patreon
you $50,
or Discord, So
but
come over
we
to
would
Discord.
I'd pay
definitely give you a shout out, which is priceless.
Right, you can't put a price on
Can't put a price on that.
I think we
It's
pay
for one to
do we
$6.
put
not
a
$6.
$6 price.
Not $6. This is a special shout out
Yeah.
that is worth more.
But anyway, you guys, Tony, all of you guys, just go check out the. There's tons of documentation on how Blue Sky works, and it's as an IT professional, like it's super interesting the things they're doing.
Do you think
Almost
it'd be
like
worth
he's
it? Do you think it'd be worth just going out to randomly Twitter and just asking the universe for an invite and see if
you get
anybody's
blocked. If you mention Blue Sky on Twitter, you get blocked.
Like, oh, you do? You
Oh,
really?
really?
Oh, I
you
wouldn't
did for a
doubt it.
while. They might have stopped that.
I think
right,
I think
but-
he stopped that.
Oh, okay.
Because they were buds, right? Like Jack Dorsey was endorsing
yeah.
Elon at first,
Yeah.
and now it's kind of
Well,
soured,
He
right?
was
Like,
endorsing.
Oh,
what you did there.
Jared.
boom! I see what you did when I didn't do what you did there.
That was a
You're
good
getting
one. Good.
Yeah,
good
like-
one.
Thank you.
Right?
Yep.
Jack Dorsey said Elon Musk was the guy for the job, right?
Yeah.
Like, which is as much of an endorsement as you're ever going to get from an ex-CEO of the platform he created his baby.
It's true.
He'll be fine.
Briefly mentioning that Tesla's NACS is taking over. We don't have this on the notes, but it's just a side note. Volvo has signed on to use NACS now as well.
Another week, another car dealer.
I'm
Another car
90%.
type.
I'm not 90% sure that if Volvo signs on, that means Polestar signs on too, since they're owned by Volvo.
Yeah.
So there you
crazy.
go. The
How many
I
of
dominoes.
those-
think
Yeah.
Polestar did sign on officially.
Okay, yeah. The dominoes continue to fall. Then there you go.
Clink, clink, clink.
All right. Let's see, Jaron. You've had this on your list here for a while, and I've wanted to hit it, but we haven't yet. But tonight's the night because it's vindication for Tony. Does taurine slow the aging process?
First
Yes.
of all, what is taurine?
Taurine is it's in all the energy
drinks.
almost all the energy drinks, but it's also found in things like meat and stuff like that. It's a
So
vitamin.
I had my first energy drink in years. I had one a couple months ago, but I was sick, so I didn't really count. Anyway, I was wired for the entire day. Like I
Yeah,
normally
buddy.
nearly fall asleep every afternoon,
Enjoy
but
that
I was
last.
going strong. I couldn't sleep until like 2 a.m.
You're welcome. It was a highball energy that I put in his fridge at work
That's a
3
big boy.
years ago. It's been sitting.
you
It was
finally-
longer than that. It was like 4 years.
You finally Doc Browned that? You were like,
Finally. Yep.
Yeah.
Finally.
oh, man.
Yep.
So yeah, let's talk
It
about
was
taurine
amazing.
for a sec.
Anyway, scientists are calling for a huge clinical trial on humans to investigate the potential benefits of taurine. They have been testing it on mice, and the things they've discovered on mice are quite interesting.
Fur,
Let's see.
legs, tail.
This is Jared stalling
thing-
for time because he
things
forgot
on a
about the
mouse.
article.
No, it's
No,
it's been on there
I-
so long that he doesn't remember.
Exactly.
No, I read it right before this. I'm just trying to see where. Okay, so
Paragraph 3.
it actually is paragraph 3. The exact quote is, "Whatever we checked, taurine supplemented mice were healthier and appeared younger than the control mice. They had denser bones, stronger muscles, better memory, and younger-looking immune systems."
Wow, that's more than I
yeah,
even thought.
yeah, it's crazy. It says taurine made animals live healthier and longer lives by affecting all the major hallmarks of aging.
Only problem is this. See, where do you get your main source of taurine from, Tony?
Meat.
Right?
Oh,
not,
meat?
Not, yeah,
Energy drinks,
Energy
for
drinks,
sure.
right? Okay, so
I'm saying
now,
most people get it from meat.
but like energy drinks is where it's most advertised. I would
Yeah.
say, like
Yeah.
taurine. This
And
well,
what's funny is it's been advertised like ever since Red Bull. So
Yeah.
20 plus years.
Gives you
and,
wings.
And nobody's ever like that I
Actually
know of or that
verified
I've
it.
read actually looked
Yeah.
into like taurine. Is it that good for you or not? Or
well, it
you
kind
know?
of goes. It just flies in the face because here in America or wherever Monster drinks or energy drinks creator, we like to keep everything's balanced. So we've got taurine making us ageless, and then we've got these new studies.
Doesn't
that are
say
saying-
ageless.
I heard ageless.
Yeah, I
what
mean,
I heard.
Okay,
just
all right.
embellishing a little bit there, and then we've got now they're coming out and saying that sucralose damages DNA. So,
It just balances it out.
It's like you'll live
Sure.
longer as a puddle. So there you go.
So as far as living longer in the mice, 10% longer for males, 12% for females. And so in human years, that's 7 to 8 years additional that we'd get. That's quite a
pretty
long
good.
time.
Bunch
That-
of Social Security disability.
Yeah.
that makes up the difference for being tall. It's like
Oh,
it's
that's right, that offsets
7
the-
to 9 years for being tall.
Oh, there
live
you go.
average
Wait,
shorter
what?
lifespan.
I'm a tall
6
person.
people.
Yes, you didn't know that, Lando?
No.
Well, you're
Short
welcome.
people
Now
are
you know.
Wait, what?
evolved.
I'm going to
No.
live less long?
They
Yes,
just,
long
you just
people-
Stop. Jared. No. I just learned
look-
a
go
very
ahead,
important
look it
fact
up.
for my life.
Look it up. Tall people on average.
This is not a thing. No. I
It
don't
is
believe
100% a thing.
Nope. I
Live
choose not to
on
believe it 'cause I'm
average
happier.
7 years less
That's
than
crazy.
short people.
Like big
Look
dogs.
at Tom Cruise. He's 60 and doing crazy Mission Impossible stuff still.
But you have to realize it's just because we fall
short.
farther. We fall farther, and
No,
we die from the
Okay.
fall
Fall
farther.
farther.
Like,
We have to
that's the
fall
problem.
farther. Inside. Tom Cruise isn't young because he's short. He's young because of Scientology, obviously.
Obviously,
Oh.
Obviously.
Nailed it. They also tested this in monkeys, and they found that it
Monkeys.
appeared to boost health by preventing weight gain.
Oh, I better
So-
eat more taurine.
Yeah, boost
need
that
Even
taurine.
more.
Lowering blood
Rapidly.
glucose, and improving bone density and the immune system.
Dang.
So this
Get my
is
taurine right
not an endorsement for everyone to start taking taurine because,
is.
I mean,
Sounds like
it's safe for human consumption. just don't go crazy with it. you
I'm
know?
not
Can you
gonna
get it as a
drink.
Can you get it as a supplement? Can you
Oh,
just
I'm
go
sh-
get taurine?
Let's check. I'll bet you.
I'm
can.
Googling it right now.
But I'm.
Yeah, I told my
Lando
wife,
needs those 7
let's
to 8
let's get
years
some
back.
taurine supplements.
Yes, you can get it as supplements. Yep, sure
There you
can.
go.
So
All right, we're
clinical
not
trials
actually-
for humans are
Yeah,
about to start, so we don't actually know if it's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
affect us.
huge
Listen, people.
disclaimer, right?
Yeah,
we are
use
not
pe-
medical professionals.
Yeah, don't go ivermectin on this. Like, you know, let's not go crazy.
So you can get 1,000 milligram capsules, 90 capsules for $10.
Oh,
1,000
dude.
1,000 milligrams is what's in your average Rockstar Monster, or
This
it
sounds
used
like
to
an
be.
investment.
Wait,
So,
wait,
in my
how
future.
much?
1,000 milligrams, 1 gram.
You're gonna grow an extra ear on the back of your
1
head or
gram.
something. Though. That's the problem.
8 years longer.
All the better to hear you.
I just lost 7 because of Tony. I
Yeah,
need
this'll-
these 8 back, baby.
Get you back up. Get you back up to normal.
Thanks,
you know?
Tony. Gosh, I'm never
So
gonna sleep again.
the amount they gave to the mice, the comparable dose for humans is 3 to 6 grams a day.
Okay, so I need to drink 3 to 6 energy drinks a day, is what you're saying.
I don't recommend that.
Dude, I don't. The most I ever have is 2. But man, I've followed
At 2.
our energy
When was
drink.
the last time you had your blood
on
pressure
Reddit?
checked?
Last year it was.
I just take a pill to
perfectly
counteract
normal.
it, man. I just they
but anyway,
they got a pill for everything. There's an app for that.
you go to our energy drinks on Reddit. That subreddit is people like, I drink 4 bangs a day. Is that
Holy
normal?
cow.
Holy cow!
How's your chest on the inside of your body still?
Exactly.
Or like your heart on the inside of your chest still? That's
You know,
crazy.
or someone will post, I have a bang in the morning, a super vente latte in the afternoon, and then when I get home from work, I usually have another bang. And it's like, you add that up, and that's like over 1,000 milligrams of caffeine per day.
And that's the thing. The brain has an
oh.
automatic mechanism for dealing with caffeine. It makes more receptors. Caffeine binds the same receptors as the sleepy one. And so when caffeine takes over that, your brain goes, I'm going to make more of those neurons. Have you ever gone cold turkey off of caffeine?
I have, and I haven't really got much of a headache or anything.
I was at about
for me.
400 or 500 milligrams of caffeine a day, and I went cold turkey, and I'll tell you, I felt like I was going to die.
Oh, wow.
And I felt like I was like, no, just go through, the headaches will stop, the headache. And then I found out, I went online, I'm like, everybody's like, do not cold turkey caffeine. You
No.
need to go off it, because what happens is you reduce those extra receptors that your brain created. They're like, oh, we're not needed. You'll get a mild headache, and then those other receptors will decrease. And that's why, I mean, you notice when you take caffeine or when you whatever, you get a tolerance to it, right? And you have to have more and more and more and more. But if you stop for 3-4 weeks,
No, it's
and
less
then
than that. The studies I've read is 1 to 2 weeks, like 10 days basically.
Yeah, 10 days, and then you have one, and you'll be like
Back to the-
fired up.
yeah, back to the
like
first
Jaren,
time.
like Jaren with the highball.
Yeah. I was super employee that day. So productive.
Got so much
All the
done.
things.
It's like when James takes his medicine.
Yeah.
Makes him happy.
So there you go. We're definitely going to follow the Taurine progress and see what.
Yeah, we are.
In
I
6 to 10 years.
I
Yep,
think
Because this is how long things take.
I think
following it.
what I heard
Hey.
now is immortality. So
Yep.
it's upgraded from agelessness to immortality.
I pushed the add to cart buy now button. It's
It's already
on
done. It's already
4
done.
bottles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to take 3 times as much as the recommended dose in order to
Right.
get the same results in mice.
Yeah.
Makes
We don't need
sense.
to wait for a study.
If
Mine's
your
good
head
enough for me.
pops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, and monkeys.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
I mean, yeah.
That's
we're
like
basically the same thing.
We're basically the same thing.
Studies. Puh. Who needs that?
Would this
Yeah.
fix my eyesight? I assume
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Probably.
obviously.
They didn't say it doesn't.
Okay.
They didn't.
What could
you
it
know,
hurt?
That's
you might
how
as well
I
start.
Well,
Oh, and
guys-
it'll probably make you more virile like you've always wanted.
see,
You know
and
what?
that's the thing.
Hang
I think
on.
I think
whoa, rein it in. We're starting to sound like a Joe Rogan podcast.
know
Calm
what?
down. Okay.
you know what I'm
Calm
gonna
down.
do. From now on, when I hear a study, if they specifically don't mention that it doesn't do a thing, I'm gonna
That means-
assume it does.
That it does.
I'm gonna be like, they didn't say it didn't make me never mind. Family show. It's a lot.
Trickles out with that joke. All right, Owen. Let's see. I want to talk about the space article you have here, the Martian samples.
Yeah, the Martian samples. It's a lot more expensive to get that back than they originally thought. A lot
What
more.
did they think it was going to cost? Like
They originally
overnight
had
shipping. For
yeah, they're
FedEx
like,
for
like, hey
40, 50
FedEx, how
bucks?
much can you get this back for us? No, they thought it was going to be 4.4 billion. To get the
That's a
sample.
lot.
You know how Perseverance has been collecting some cans out there, like
Leaves
hey,
them behind.
here
poops
future
them out.
missions, like little mouse poops, just turd cans with
Mm-hmm.
stuff in them. Not so. The new estimate is between 8 and 9 billion.
Double almost.
Double the cost. And so
Inflation, man. That thing
yeah,
sucks.
inflation.
Inflation.
Even on Mars, guys, you can't escape it. So, and that only represents the cost to build and test the different components of the mission. Doesn't include like operating costs or 5-year period or construction of new facility to receive the samples. It's
know
about
what?
10 billion if you factor in those things.
This is the problem right here. Is NASA is trying to do it themselves, probably, or at least they're hiring people directly and contracting it out like they do with their ridiculous SLS rocket system, and you have them doing the same thing as SpaceX, but not as good, and for what was it, 10 or 15 times the cost?
Yeah.
Right.
Absurd. They should be going up. They should private's the way for space right now.
Well, because isn't NASA publicly funded and stuff, so they have to follow way more regulations. They have to pre-test everything.
they get a lot of their.
yeah.
If I remember, they get a lot of their funding from government entities, if I remember correctly.
And I feel like that gives that's because government entities want first crack at the technology, right? Like JPL, Jet
Sure.
Propulsion Labs, that they've built and funded a lot of our rockets and all the things for our defense systems, and NASA's no different. So since data is king and science is king, like they maybe the cost of this is so high because like they have to control it because they want that science first. I don't know. Like,
Maybe.
Well, and I think part of it with NASA too is the cost of failure is so high, right? If
Right.
NASA fails and they fail publicly, they lose funding, right?
Yeah,
so their
right.
standards for
No,
like getting it right the
that-
first time.
That is a perception problem because
Right.
SpaceX has overcome that perception by saying this is how we do it: build,
Sure.
fail, iterate.
But
build,
you're talking about
fail,
old
iterate.
people in Congress, Tony.
But it's just
they don't
wasting.
get that.
But the public and most people see Elon Musk just being a child and wasting his money. But as soon as you start wasting other people's money
And my money.
and my money, which is what they see it as, as soon as you start
And
wasting
the
my
old
money,
people in
now I
Congress.
have a thing to say, and I cut your funding. I don't want you to, if you can't get a rocket off the ground.
I challenge you to figure out how much it has cost NASA to get as far as they have with the SLS rocket, and how much
it's
it
a
has,
boatload.
and how much it has cost SpaceX
Yep.
to get their super Starship, whatever, off the ground.
Absolutely,
Yep.
you're not
I'll
wrong.
bet it is fractions.
Oh, fractions, and that's
Yeah.
that's the great thing. SpaceX is breaking the model because nobody was willing to waste that much with how expensive NASA was. Can you imagine if that had failed and Elon Musk was more expensive than NASA's method? Like nobody would have gone for it. Nobody was willing to be like, yeah, I'm willing to spend maybe more to see if that works. But now that Elon Musk did it, because that's how the tech industry works, fail, iterate, fail,
Copycats
iterate,
now,
I
Fail
don't think
fast.
that fail fast. I don't think that
Right.
NASA's going to be able to hold up that business model anymore.
That's what I
and
mean.
say,
They need to shift, and they
yeah.
need to have a perception
E-
change, and they need to
absolutely.
go to a more privatized model where they're not afraid to blow stuff up.
Right.
As long as they're making things safe, when they think something's going to blow up. Obviously, we don't want another Apollo 1 incident.
Well, and
right?
I
That would
think
be
part
awful.
of it too is NASA's like, what do they call, like safety standards, like has to be like able to hold 10x more than it should, right? Or it should be like 10
Right.
times safer than it actually needs to
Right.
be, right? Their standards are so much higher
Is
than
it
that of
though?
SpaceX.
Have you looked?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
That's what I mean.
Then,
This is all
then why are
speculation.
they contracting with SpaceX to shuttle astronauts off
Yeah.
the International Space
Exactly.
Station?
Only-
They're using
only after-
SpaceX right
maybe-
now.
Only after
maybe-
SpaceX proved that it worked. Like
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, that's
Well,
how it
maybe-
should.
maybe-
That's how it should be from
Yeah.
the get go. Prove that it works. Obviously, prove that it's
Right.
safe.
Well,
or at
and
least
if
as
something
safe
goes
as it
wrong, they can
be.
point the finger and say it was their fault.
That's
right?
true as well. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yay, capitalism.
I
Right.
did just look. In 2023, NASA received $32.4 billion from budgetary resources in Congress. So yeah, it's federally funded.
Yeah, I would be curious to know what that compares to against SpaceX's fail fast method and how much.
Guarantee they're not spending
Yeah.
$32 billion a year.
Yeah,
I
they don't have that
promise
kind of
you
cash
They don't
on
have that
hand.
kind of money.
So
But we'll never know because they're private, right?
right.
Well, yeah, they don't have to tell us, but there's just no way they don't have. Yeah, they don't have $32 billion to spend in 1 year. Not a
Right.
chance.
I hope
So-
I hope NASA takes a page from that because really it's just like you said, it's perception. People just believe that NASA shouldn't be doing it that way. But if NASA went to Congress and said this is 6 times cheaper
Yeah,
than doing it the way we're doing it, and people love seeing a rocket blow up.
exactly.
Look at SpaceX. People applauded when their stuff blows up,
When
and they're just like,
Starship-
"Hey," and they're just
Yeah.
like, "Hey, we fail fast. We always learn. Move forward. Only move forward." Like,
Yep.
it's,
It is
brilliant.
all about, and this goes for
But
everything
at
in
the same
life.
time, I mean, SpaceX
everything
is spending money. They're spending a lot
everything
of
in
money.
life
They are.
comes down to management of expectations.
Yep.
In your job, the best thing you can learn how to do is manage your boss's
Here
expectations
comes
of
the
you.
life advice from Tony.
That's my life advice. That if you learn anything
He's
from
right.
any of the
He's 1000%
podcasts,
right.
Yeah.
if you learn anything from any of the podcasts that I talk on, and I don't try to give out life advice, sometimes it just slips out like this. Management of expectations. Learn how
1000%.
learn how to manage the expectations of your superiors, of people you're turning your projects into, of your family. Manage expectations of people around you as
And
best
sometimes
you
it's
can.
hard because
It's
those
very hard
expectations are
sometimes.
lower than they should be.
You know,
Yeah, it's
and you know
very
the worst?
hard sometimes.
Kids.
Yeah, kids. Oh, expectations.
I have
when
to
was a
say,
kid
I
were
have to,
completely wrong.
I have to wake up right now and say today's a no promise day, kids, because they'll instantly be like, "Can we go to the park? Can we go to the zoo? Can we go to the aquarium? Can we go swing? Can we go?" And I have to be like, "Knock it off. I don't know what's going on today. It's a no promise day.
I like that. I'm going to
gonna
steal
steal
that
that.
from you.
It's a no
Yeah,
promise
that's great.
day. It's a maybe day.
I
So
wonder if I
we'll
could
see
use
how
that
it
with
goes.
my wife. No promise day.
Yep, it's a
Good
no
luck.
promise day.
This is my life advice. If someone offers to buy your Twitter handle, take it. All right?
Yeah, you lost,
Just take it.
you lost out on that 50
Oh,
bucks,
I did.
Jaron.
I want that $50, dang it.
That's funny.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything we want to hit on real quick before we wrap it up? I think we're about out of time.
I'm good.
I got a quick one.
Okay.
We talked about Humane's AI pin that was debuted at a TED Talk a couple months ago. Anyway, it is called Humane I Pin. AI, capital A, lowercase I.
Ow.
Anyway, it's supposed to come out later this year. And
Why would you want a pin in your eye? Humane eye pin.
Get it. I get it. I'm excited to see what this device does. I have no faith in it, but I'm very curious on what other people are going to say about it.
Yeah, what?
I don't know what this is.
This is supposed to be.
Started by former Apple employees.
Yeah,
Big
these are
promises.
ex-Apple
Oh, we just talked about
engineers,
that.
ex-Apple engineers who are betting big on AI, and instead of a smartphone, you wear basically a Star Trek communicator,
Okay.
Nice.
and you make calls on it. You can talk to it like a voice assistant. It has a projector you can call someone with on your hand.
I highly recommend checking out a show called Brockmire on Hulu. It stars Hank Azaria, and it is a hilarious show about him,
guy.
his rise and fall and rise again of being a baseball commentator. And
Ooh, I'm in.
the
Baseball.
reason that the tie-in is, I'll get to the end. In the last season, they do a time jump, and they go like 20 years in the future. And everyone has these little pins they wear on their shirts, and they're called limon. And they talk to these little pins that are connected to an AI server, and limon reads their body temperature. Has all these sensors, and
Cool.
it answers questions for them and everything. And you just go, "Hey, limon, tell me blah blah blah." And this is what they're trying to build. They're trying to build limon.
Remember when we saw that in Better Off Ted with the meat in the laboratories, and here we
I
are.
love Better Off
show's so
Ted.
good.
Like
Oh,
Better Off Ted
so great.
it was so ahead of its time. Like
Oh.
it hit before the real crush of the corporate just monotony. But man, it was brilliant.
Great show. All right, there's two recommendations: Better Off Ted and Brockmire.
I have one quick one,
Go.
but it's gonna make you sad, Tony.
Do
It's
it.
fly-
Oh no, don't do it then. You
It's
can't
the
do it.
flying car, FAA approved.
Let me
special-
guess. I don't fit in it. It's not
FAA
robust enough to
special-
carry my fat butt.
or mine.
butts.
Alef Automotive flying car
I
got
don't even
special
care about 'em.
got FAA special clearance to start testing. This is a flying car that has a 200-mile range and 150-mile-an-hour flying range.
Nice.
And
Dang,
basically,
that
and
sounds
it's got
awesome.
it's perfect for you, Jared. I mean, it's basically built for you. But
Also, it's small.
yeah, it's got a little. So what it does, you drive along like a car. It's super light, of course. It's got the top of the car, the shell is all fins. You encounter traffic, like some semi truck tips over or whatever, and you're just like, not today, friend.
Traffic.
Not today. And you can do like these little traffic hops, just like zerp, and you just fly up. What happens is it goes up and then it tilts horizontally.
No way.
And you fly forward. Go check out the YouTube video that I
This
posted.
thing is wild.
Yeah, and this is going.
It's like clear.
Yeah,
It's transparent.
because there are fins on top that allows air to. So there's no air resistance. And it has like 6, I think, 4 on one side, 2 on the other. Propellers, and it's just a drone. Imagine
Nice.
getting in your DJI and just flying off. All you have to have
Yeah.
all you have to own. You have to get a pilot's license or anything. Just a drone license.
This
That's
has
all you'll need.
major. This has major like Homer Simpson's car vibes.
I
though.
know
does,
the bubble,
it
the
does.
bubble, like the single
Yeah.
bubble. They're like it will fit 1, maybe 2 people. Well, the weight limit's 200 pounds. So unless there's 2,
This
unless
isn't for America.
No, this is not
200
fair.
pounds. I'm in.
You're in.
I'm not.
Without
So-
kids, this is going to be awesome.
So you want to run away when it's a no promise day?
Yeah,
just
you
take your flying
you
car.
just-
and get
you know
the heck out of here.
what? I'm leaving, and you just go out and just
See ya.
it does vertical takeoff, and then it just flips, and the pod that you're in rotates, so you always like a gyroscope, so you always stay upright, and then you just kind of like a floating envelope just. Zzz,
And like
flies.
the rest of the car turns sideways while you're still upright. It's
It's
wild.
wild.
The car's not even those aren't solid panels. Those are grates.
Yeah.
That the air flows through. That is crazy.
So they're going for the low price of $300,000. They're taking pre-orders now. If you want to
big
get in
deal.
on that,
Man, I wish I were
you-
rich.
you could get that. Like, go pre-order that and hop over traffic. I mean,
Dude,
it's
in real life, this thing looks just insane. Like,
Yeah.
If they're
the
smart,
design
they're-
of it.
If they're smart, they're designing that grate so the way the wind flows over it,
it's a
creates
wing.
lift.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
what they're
wing.
doing.
Okay.
They said that one provides a low pressure, which
Nice.
basically because that's the only way you could get that much range with that much
Exactly.
weight. That doesn't scale like motors don't scale that large. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
Guys,
so they said.
I think
want
we
one.
officially entered the future. We're talking about Star Trek communicators and flying cars in the same episode.
We made it. This is it.
This is
Yeah.
the
Wow.
future.
The future's
We're
now.
there.
This is where we've arrived.
Wow. This is amazing.
So, but I just thought, man, and they got special clearance to do these, so that means they get to test them, basically.
Oh, I thought you
They
meant
don't-
that.
They
You were
got
gonna say-
the FAA basically special clearance from the FAA means testing and
I
development.
thought you were going to
so-
say that means they paid someone off.
yeah. Well, they might have. It's the
Special
it's-
clearance.
Yeah.
So their first car is the Model A. They say it's planned for 2025. It'll fit 1 to 2 people.
No. one person, come on.
Their Model Z is planned for 2035, and they want it to be priced $35,000
Whoa.
and fit 4 to 6 people.
Now we're talking.
Nice.
How they
we're
gonna
talking.
drop it? I don't know.
But that is 12 years from now, and there's no way this technology exists yet. So they're just throwing a
So
dart
that's-
at a dartboard.
Yeah,
Pure
they're just-
speculation on their
They're
part,
just trying
yeah.
to get
I'm
some
going to
PR
believe
out
it.
there.
12 years. The future is here in 12 years.
You'll be
12
almost
years.
dead back 12 years from now, Lando.
Tony.
We just
Yeah,
need to
since you're so
establish
tall.
that. Yeah.
Me too.
I hate
I'll
that
be
fact.
alive riding in my flying car because I'm so light.
And rich.
Nah, you'll be fat by then, Jaron.
Oh, I hope not. Gotta take that taurine. It'll
They're
help me
gonna,
lose weight.
they're gonna. By that time, they'll have a cure for celiac disease, and you're gonna just pack on the pounds.
It's probably taurine.
It's probably taurine.
Oh, dude.
We got it. We
We
figured
got
it
it.
out, Jaron.
Crap.
You're
This has
welcome.
been a very productive episode.
Yeah.
We've solved
Go
a
take
lot of
three-
problems.
Go take
We've gone to the
3,000
future.
milligrams.
Yep.
Go take 3,000 milligrams of taurine and eat a pizza, my guy.
What can
You
it
have
hurt?
Owen's blessing.
And my
I'll report back.
suggestion, Yeah.
I've been waiting for this day, Owen. Thank you for
You're
giving
so
me the
welcome,
go.
dude. I'm like, consider me your own little FDA.
That's right. ODA.
ODA.
Bingo. All right, that is it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you, and we hope you join us next week when we are back again, just like we are every week. But until then, Lando, take us out.
Hey, if you try turning it on and off again, dum-dum,
It's okay.
That's pretty good. Much
Better
better
than
than
last
the
time.
last two.
Yeah.